Shalom, shalom. This is Moth, my Yasharallah, Bonaparian. This is Moth, the son of Israel, son of Ephraim. And before I get started, I got to give all praises and honors to my power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Shalom to you, Akim Akwaf, and the body that's tuned into this video. That is peace to the brothers, sisters, and children tuned into this video. Now, before I get started, I want to say salakia to anyone that might have seen this video yesterday. And I'm not sure what happened, but, I'm going to re-record it. I don't have to say that we don't have the same issue that we ran into yesterday with the audio. But essentially what I was going into was, be able to carry your own cross, right? And what that means, carry your own burdens. We'll go into the precepts later talking about you will have people to help you out and all that stuff. But, the Lord has called us to be men, right? And just like our Lord, Yahushua, had to carry his own burdens, his own cross. So are we. The one precept says, the servant's not better than the master, right? But so let's get into it though. We're gonna start the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 23, and it reads, And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. Let him deny himself and take up his cross daily after me. We're gonna have burdens. We're gonna have stuff to deal with almost every day, every single day. One precept says after birth, once you have birth, you're burdened with stuff, right? I believe it's in Job. And essentially, there'll be times you might go through a really good season, and then you're going to go through a bad season. All the precepts, indicate that it's not going to be easy just because you come to truth. Especially if the Lord views you as a man, a worthy man, you're going to be tested. You're going to be put in the furnace of adversity. You're going to have hard times, right? It's the book of Acts, chapter 14, verse 22, and it reads, confirming the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the power. So you understand that we're going to have to go through tribulation to get to the kingdom of the power, right? Patience itself means to suffer. So we here, we're suffering already because we're in hell and we're in captivity. Outside of that, you're going to go through different stuff because we're in captivity. Some people it's money situation, some people it's relationship situation, some people it's health situation. Everyone has their own burdens. Everyone is different, but you will be going through different stuff. You will be tested, just like Job was tested as well. The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 8, and it reads, and one only path between the both, even between the fire and water, so small that there could be one man go there at once. So discussing the fact that you can't get in on the kingdom of other people's works. You have to do your own works, and you'll have to carry your own burdens, right? And again, you will have brothers to help you out, right? We'll touch on that shortly. But at the end of the day, you got to do it. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 2. Bear ye one another burdens, and so fulfill the law of Hamashiach. So, the law of Hamashiach, one of them laws are, love your neighbor as yourself, right? Have fervent charity, right? Now, if someone can't help you out, they can't help you out. So again, you gotta be able to burn your cross. You also gotta try to do it. Now, it's hard to say because you sound like, well, you just said you gotta do it yourself, but you're gonna get help. You'll have help, but you gotta understand that the ministry isn't just for that, right? You're gonna have to try to get off the muscle, get off yourself, right? And obviously, get off yourself, rely on the Lord, pray on the Lord, right? Yahweh, Yahushua, and they'll guide you. But you have to carry your own cross, right? So, okay, guys, I'm driving right now. On the way to work. Just want to get this. I wanted to get this re-recorded, uploaded to you guys. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 8, and it reads, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins, right? It's like we said, having fervent charity among yourselves. It's important, Yahushua watched the disciples' feet. And Yahushua is above all of us, right? So if Yahushua can do that stuff, who are we for us not to have charity for our own brothers? And then the Akwath, right? So, it's important to remember that, right? And it is important to remember that. Not making brothers, even if brothers going to some hard shit, don't make his time harder. If you are able to help, help them. It's not a sin if you're not able to help and you don't help them. It's not an issue, because then you're gonna put yourself in a deeper situation. Which is why I was talking about earlier, you gotta carry your own burden sometimes. because it's not wise to put yourself in the hole just because you see someone else struggling, right? The book of Ecclesiastes, this is the book of Sirach, and this is chapter 4, and we're going to be at verse 3, and it reads. Matter of fact, let's start at 1. My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes wait long. Make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Right? They're going to go to the point, which verse 3, and add not more trouble to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give to him that is in need. So if you are, again, if you're able to help, help out, because it says not to add on more stress, not to provoke a man that's already in distress, not to add trouble a man heart that's already vexed. Like the one precept says that could be you, right? Well, it's like, yeah, I'm trying to think about the precept. I don't know how to paraphrase it, so I'm not to paraphrase wrong, but and what people say in the world, that could be you one day. You never know what can happen, right? So you gotta have some type of some people say compassion, but obviously, like, for your neighbors, which neighbors mean other people of Israel, not just your neighbor, like literal neighbor next door, right? So it is a two-way street. If you are able to help, you have charity, but at the end of the day, you gotta understand you're gonna have to carry your own cross, right? Carry your own burdens. But I don't desire that lesson was edifying and able to give you able to feed you and give you some peace. I gotta give all praises, honors, my power, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahshua, by Hashem Kakadash. Shalom to the Akim Magwaf and the buying that tuned to this video. That is peace to the brothers and sisters and children tuned to this video. Shalom.